Very recently, I saw that I had reached 300 subscribers on YouTube. I realized that my 100 and 200 sub vids were essentially the same, thanking everyone and saying some things about future projects. But for this one, I've decided to try something a little different. Growing up, I've always loved video games. Most, if not all, were older than I was. I remember playing my dad's old PS2 games such as Sly Cooper, various Mortal Kombat games, and one of those Midway arcade games, which has many titles on it. Over time, I somewhat claimed these games. As a lot of you may know, you can also play PlayStation 1 games on the PS2. One day I stumbled on a particular game mixed among the other PlayStation titles my dad owned. A game that would soon become one of my favorite games of all time. And that game was Spider-Man. Spider-Man was released on the PlayStation 1 in 2000, and although it may have similarities to the 1990s TV show, it is not related. I feel like this game is rather underrated and should get more attention. From its great playability to great voice acting.
Who is it?
And also the soundtrack is just awesome. One of my all-time favorite video games, and that's why I decided to do a review on it. Okay, anyways, now on to the video. The game begins at Science Expo 2000, where Dr. Otto Octavius is talking about how great technology is, and vows that his duties to humankind will be fulfilled.
The duties to humankind will be fulfilled. Thank you.
But Peter Parker ain't believing that. All of a sudden, Spider-Man comes and steals Doc Ock's device. Peter runs into Eddie Brock, who seemingly brushes it off. The imposter Spidey breaks Eddie's camera, which causes him to go into a temper tantrum, which brings up. Later, Doc Ock and Carnage release a deadly gas to the city, and cue Stan Lee.
Welcome, true believers and newcomers alike. Spider-Man co-creator Stan Lee here. Once again, we find our hero Peter Parker, better known around the world as the Amazing Spider-Man, in a heap of trouble.
This is one of the many reasons why I love this game. You're probably going to hear that a lot. So the objective of this level is to get to the bank, as there is a hostage situation there. Okay, so let me show you a little more about this game before I completely get into it. So there's a cheat code that will unlock everything in the game. It's simply Stan Lee's name backwards. This cheat code unlocks all suits, levels, and many other things. So here's some of the costumes. Okay, so there's the default suit, Spidey 2099, Symbiote, and my personal favorite, Captain Universe, which has a limited web and makes you impenetrable. There's also Amazing Bagman. But anyways, back to the game. I remember when I was younger, I used to hysterically laugh whenever Spider-Man fell. So you get to the bank, take out the bad guys, who sound identical to the thugs on the roof for whatever reason. And you have to find where to put the bomb before it explodes. Well, there's a safe conveniently placed next to the room where the bomb is, so...
Think, Spidey, think!
So in the next one, you have to get to the Daily Bugle before J. Jonah Jameson is killed by Scorpion. So you keep swinging, and swinging, and swinging. Yeah, there's a lot of swinging in this. Until you get there. When you get there, your objective is to take out Scorpion. Well, crap. Anyways, when you get there, you have to take out Scorpion. I find it easier just to shoot web balls at him until he's defeated. Well, that was easy. Now I guess I can take a break.
There he is, officers! The man behind the Science Expo heist! Shoot him now! Shoot him!
Well, dang it. So what follows is an overly long building top chase that involves shooting, cops, fire, web swinging, and falling. And also explosions. Lots and lots of explosions. Jeez, NYPD is really serious about capturing him. After this, Venom takes control of the Jumbotron in Times Square, where he advertises for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Nah, I'm just kidding, he's only captured Mary Jane. Instead of going directly to Venom, Spidey and Black Cat decide to stop on the way and take out Rhino. However, Black Cat gets taken out. Okay, so this part's fairly easy. Just let Rhino ram himself into fairly expensive equipment. After that, Doc Ock takes away Rhino, and the paramedics take away Black Cat. To which he says they aren't really paramedics. Later, when Spidey is talking to the Human Torch, Venom shows up, which leads to Spidey chasing after him. This is probably one of the hardest parts of the games. I eventually gave up and just put the cheat code in for the next part of the level. So Venom says his favorite line from the Warriors.
Spider-Wars, come out and play!
Warriors, come out to play.
You fight Venom for a while, then he ducks down to the sewer. So you go through the sewer, take out some lizards, then you... Oh, come on! Anyway... God. So after this, you hitch a ride on the subway train where you have to take out hugging lizards. Venom throws you off the train.
Oh no!
Oh, sorry. Then you have to find your way through this maze of sorts. This takes a while, so I'm just going to move on to the end of this part. When you finally find Mary Jane, she is about to be drowned unless you turn off the switches. But Venom doesn't want you to turn off the switches. After you save Mary Jane, Spider-Man tells Venom he was framed, and they become partners to see who is the cause of everything. They go to the Daily Bugle where Venom really wants to...
Surf the web, surf the web.
But before they can,
Surf the web, surf the web.
Venom smells another symbiote, which leads to more destruction of public property. Spider-Man runs into a symbiote of his own. Here you have to kill some symbiote and destroy the machines that are generating them. But you have to be careful not to fall into the printing press. Then you go into the boiler room, flip some more switches, destroy more generators until you run into...
The imposter! The imposter!
Turns out the person who framed him was Mysterio. Mysterio turns into
King Kong?
and you take him down by shooting the yellow things? I don't know what they are. Mysterio tells Spider-Man where all of the symbiotes are coming from.
On the waterfront, Warehouse 65.
So you take out more generators, then you go through an air shaft until you find the next part of the level.
Geronimo!
Here you destroy the lasers and go to the next part. Yeah, this part's really easy if you have the Captain Universe thing. If you have the Captain Universe suit on, all you have to do is just fall to the bottom and just walk. But you know, if you were in the normal suit, you probably couldn't do that. And here is Spider-Man to explain the next part, because I didn't really write anything for this.
This panel controls the exhaust ports. If I can jam the exhaust ports without stopping the flow of fog, it'll be like a banana in a tailpipe. That ought to blow the power, too.
Yay, more destruction of expensive stuff. So you flip all these switches. You realize there's a lot of switches in this game. So you destroy the thing that's putting out the chemical, and then it's time to fight Doc Ock. To do this, you cause his electrical field to malfunction, and then start shooting him with web balls. Well, that's at least how I did it. Sometimes the easy way is the right way, you know? So after he's defeated, you go to fight Carnage. You do this by punching him into the sonic field. And I guess that's it. Well, I hope you...
What the... Is that Ock?
So in this part, you have to run from Symbiote Ock. This is similar to the Venom chase level, except you're running from instead of to. I'm a little bit better at this, so yeah. You kinda save Ock.
The symbiote that saved Ock. You've got to be kidding.
Then you get picked up by Captain America. After this, all the bad guys are locked up, and Spidey is playing cards with Cap, Daredevil, and the Punisher. Strangely all still in suits. And that's it. I promise this time. So like I've said, this is one of my all-time favorite games. Probably one of the first games I've ever played, I don't know. Possibly, I don't know. May not be one of the most complicated games of all time, but it sure is one of the most fun to me. Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1 will always have a special place in my heart, even though I still keep falling all the time.